You're listening to First Fossil. Because sometimes you simply need someone to help you take that first fossil. Hello and welcome to First Fossil, a show where we learn together how to take that first fossil toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. My name is Candace Olushala, and today's special guest is a woman who helps women coaches run a profitable coaching business with consistent clients by creating powerful lead magnets. She actually started full time at 17 years old and has gone through a ton of ups and downs. Her story is very powerful. So listen up, guys. Without further ado, please welcome fellow coach, Kavitha the coach. Hi, Kavitha. So glad to have you on my show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you for that beautiful introduction. And it's lovely having you, lovely meeting you here. So, hi,
Yes.
friends. I am Kavita, the coach, and as Candice told, I help women coaches out there, especially from India and other countries who wants to have consistent clients. Because as coaches, having consistent clients is a big challenge. So, I help women coaches crack that challenge by creating powerful lead magnets. Thank you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. She, guys, I've spent a few minutes talking with her before this show, and let me tell you, her story is powerful. I wanted to kind of just see how things were doing. I know you're in India, so just so people kind of understand, we've been in this pandemic for a few years, and I know a lot of people have heard about what happened in India. That was last year, right? And so, can you, from your perspective, kind of give people a little synopsis of what's been going on in India since that devastating experience that you guys were dealing with?
Yes. In India, now we have got the third wave hit. The first and second wave, we have lost many near and dear ones. Each family has received a news or been a part of a closed one's death. It was very painful. The last 2 years, we have lost our loved ones. We have seen our loved ones suffer without uh, not able to get the timely medical aids. We had seen business close down. There are many challenges we were facing as a country. Yes, we are working hard. Still, again, with the world, we also suffered a lot.
Mm, man, I just wanted you to kind of put that into perspective because, of course, over here in America, we just hear about what's going on with us most of the time, and we have our own politics that are surrounding that. But I kind of wanted to highlight that because for me, I studied public health and I'm a pharmacist as well by trade. And I always think it's important for people to recognize that different countries are having their own issues surrounding the pandemic and how they're handling it. So I'm very glad that at least about 60% of people in India are vaccinated at some degree and that you guys are suffering from what was going on last year. So that really warms my heart to hear that. I'm very thankful. Thank you for sharing that with us too. So tell us what exactly for you was a first fossil or a series of first fossils that have shaped where you are now in your life.
So, before I share my first Paso moment, let me give a little bit background story of mine. I live with my parents, my mother, father, and my younger sister. We are a family of four, a very beautiful family. And in India, going to college, having that college education is normal for the middle class families. Parents pay for the fee, and we all have our degrees and masters with a very affordable price. We don't get we know we did not get lots of debts for that. It's very affordable. But even at that point of time, my family's financial condition was not so good that we were able to afford the college fees. So at 17 years of age, I had to take up a full-time job. So that job also, it is a government aided job where out of 1 lakh applications, only 40 students were picked up for that government aided scheme, and I was selected for it at the age of 15. After 2 years training, we were given that job. So at age 15, I knew that I will not be getting my college education. So we just went ahead. After completion of that training, I got my job. And after that, I did my, we call that as distance education in India, where working professionals, people who work for full time, who would like to continue their college education, we have an option called as distance learning, where you pay the fee, you get all the school, all the assignments, your textbooks to your home through courier. You read that books, and yearly once you go to the college to write that exam. So if it's a 3 years course, three times you go to the college, write the exam, and once you get your good marks, you complete the assignments, the college gives you a degree. So this is how it works in India.
Wait. This is specifically for people who are working full time.
Now, even if you're not working, but you cannot afford to pay the full-time college fee, you can stay at home and you can attend the exams only yearly once. So people from very poor background families who cannot pay that college fees do that, who would love to complete their education and get a degree.
Okay. So then to me, this sounds like almost kind of like, and then I'm this is a loose equivalent. For us in America, we have a community college system where it's a lot cheaper than going to a state school, and you still would have to go to class and stuff, but then we also have the ability to do online classes, but I don't know of a program specifically where they would basically give you all of the materials and then you really just have one exam to say that counts towards your whole grade, right? So
Yes,
even with the assignments and everything that you get graded?
they are graded. Your assignments are graded. And suppose you have, for one particular degree, you are supposed to take 6 subjects. We call it as subjects.
Okay.
So every year 6 subjects. So 18 subjects you have to write those exams and complete it. They are graded. The exams are graded, the assignments are graded, and with overall grading system only you get your marks.
Oh, okay. That's like that. I don't think we have quite that sort of. I don't know if it's exactly that, but that is hard. That is
Yes.
hard, but it is cost effective.
Yes, it's very cost effective, where even the poorest of poor, if they love to continue their education, they can pay the nominal fee and complete that course and get their degrees. We call it degrees, so that after your name you have that. So the undergraduate degrees, even postgraduate degrees, we can do like that. So I completed my Bachelor of Commerce and Master in Business Administration with that. So 3 plus 3, 6 years of my education with my full-time job, I completed like that.
America, get on this. This sounds great. We need help with our debt situation for students. So let's talk to India sometime. That would be great. They seem like they know what they're doing because see, this is my public health brain speaking. I love that it's set up to where even the class of the country can say, I can still get a degree and not have to worry about the financing to go with it. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I would rather be able to do it like this than to say I can't because financially it's just not feasible. So I really like that the country has put that in place for its citizens. That is genius to me.
Yes, thank you for that. And yes, there are so many people, millions of people uh, getting their graduation degrees through this process. So there is a separate, a system for that, and it works very beautifully, supporting the community, student community. So that way I completed my education, and I got married. I was blessed with a son. In India, arranged marriage is very common. So parents choose a groom and they say that this groom seems to fit for the family. The groom's parents see the bride and they fix the marriage. So it's very common there. And I got into an arranged marriage, and the life was tough there. We had so many issues from the beginning. And within a year I had my son, and when my son was born, there were so many issues that I decided that I'm going to live my life ahead as a single mom.
Mm,
So the job whatever I was doing, it was tough. We had night shifts, evening shifts, day shifts. It didn't have a perfect timing, even though the money was relatively good. But with that timings, and when I decided I wanted to be a single mom, yes, my parents would support, but I wanted to live independently. I didn't want to take support from anybody at that point of time, because again, getting separated in India is a big taboo even now. So I wanted to live independently. So I decided, my when my son was 3 months old baby, I decided that I have to switch my career, make the career move. So I started preparing for exams, because in India for government jobs, there are competitive exams. You have to crack it, which is very tough. So after out of lakhs of people, few hundreds get the job. So I
mm,
decided I'll go for another government job, gave my best in the exams, and yes, I could crack it. My second job was relatively financially, the pay was less, but I had a definite timings that 10 to 5 would be the job. So I decided to make that switch career move, and people around me told me that I'm crazy for making such a move, for going for 50% of the salary of my previous job, which I was working for nearly 9 years. So when everything seems fine, I decided I have to make a move for my son, to spend enough time with him and to be a good mom with him.
mm,
For me, I could focus only on my son there. The other things, I took a leap of faith. I thought that I can manage it. I can sort it out as life goes, and I just took the leap. So that first paso moment in my life, where everybody around me told I am crazy. Everybody around me told me that this is not going to work, and I'm going to regret that moment in my life. And God's grace, till now, I have not regretted, because I knew that that is what I had to do at that point of time, and I'm happy for taking that decision at that point of time.
and see, that to me is so commendable, and, there's so much that goes on with what is your family gonna say? What is the community gonna say? This is the culture here. We don't no one does this here. Very few, and it's hardly supported, if at all. So, just to see a woman who is willing to say, "But my son," right? Like, at the end of the day, it's me, it's my son. What does my son most need, and what to make sure that he gets that? And you made that choice that a lot of moms do make for their kids. They make those sacrifices, and you also did it for yourself too, right? And so I love that about your story. And so what happened from there?
Yeah. So from that moment, for 2 3 years I was living with my son as a single mom, and after a few years again, for the all my family, all my relatives, we had our I had my younger sister, and she had to get married. So if a woman is living separately, that's a big question mark. The next sister doesn't get good grooms in India. So that
Whoa.
that will yes.
Wait a
Yes.
second. Wait. Cuz you just said something that sounded very similar to what I've heard growing up. So I'm half Nigerian. And so culturally, you usually want the oldest to go for you pretty much try to go in birth order is how it's usually seen in the culture. So when the oldest is not married, one, the youngest are going like, "Hey, can, can you hurry it up? Like I'm married and you're taking your sweet time. Like, can you we don't wanna wait too long, okay?" Especially the women, they're like, "I gotta have kids. Can you wrap this up? Can you find some do you want me to help you? Because I have love interests out here, right?" It's totally like, you would never hear someone in America say something like that who's, like, truly American blood, culturally, like, their roots are here. It is not seen as a cultural here, like, get married if you're married. If it was my younger sibling, whoop-de-doo for them, and then the oldest next, whoop-de-doo for them, and then the middle, okay, whatever. But birth order and marriage in Indian culture, very, very serious. So
And also the first sister should have a proper married life, then only the second sister can get married. If she is separated or she is divorced or she is having some issues in her marital life, then the prospective grooms of the younger ones reduces to 25 to 30% of the 100 from the 100%.
that's a lot of pressure on the oldest.
Lot
You
of
gotta get
pressure.
it right. Wait, so then is that the same thing? Okay, so, like, if the oldest was to get married and it was great, wonderful, and then the next child gets married and they're like, that still affects the next child, right? So if anyone
Yes,
in the line is having some kind of issues, it's gonna affect me.
exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's hard.
So whether you like it or not, it is better you stick with your marriage so that the younger ones get good prospective grooms.
See, no one in America would think about their siblings when it comes to marriage. It's just it's not a thing. Here, it's like, it's my marriage, it's my life. My family doesn't have a say, it doesn't affect them. Their life is so I already know that people are gonna listen to this and go, "What?" But this is good. I'm so glad that you're breaking this down too, because this is how my listeners kind of just step into this cultural space with you. Okay, so keep explaining that. So you're now in a situation, or like at this time in your walk in your paso, you're in a space where now the young in a bind because you've already divorced, right? And
I was not divorced, I was separated at that point of time.
separated. Okay, so you're
Separated.
separated,
Yes.
and that already is not good for your sibling.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and my son was also growing up, so I thought that maybe I, by taking the decision of staying alone without, so I was taking out his opportunity of having a father in his life. So I decided that let me give one more try. And uh, the person who I married, he also insisted that let us give it one more try. So we tried to fix things up. My sister's marriage was also come, like we had to search for a groom for her, so we decided we'll be together. And we were trying to sort things out. The struggle was long. Yes, in this situation my sister also got married. But my second pastor moment came a few years after that. For around 10 years we were struggling to have that marriage in a proper sense for my son. There were so many issues day in and day out. Basically we couldn't stick. And he had many issues with me, and I felt that I can't breathe properly. I felt stuck in that relationship. And at one point of time I decided that I cannot take this anymore. That's it. Even for my son or for myself, it is always said that children need a father and mother.
Hmm.
It is told very commonly especially in our country. But I later realized that if my son is growing up in a broken home, it is affecting him a lot. He was growing as a broken up person. So I wanted him to grow up as a proper person. That he was the main reason for me to stick up with that marriage. And I felt he was the number one child who was affected by that marriage.
Hmm.
So one fine day, for whom I was doing all these things, he told some nasty things about me to my own son. And my son replied him back that I don't believe all those things about my mom. And that day it just snapped and decided that I am going to leave this marriage. It doesn't make any sense to continue in a marriage when somebody says those awful things to my son about me. And yes, he never believed it. Even now he doesn't believe a single word of that. But that snap moment, when I didn't know what I'm going to do with my life, when I didn't have any uh, any plan or anything, but that moment I decided that I'm going to leave that marriage. And I took That was my second paso moment in my life, where I decided to do something for myself and to have a healthy environment for my son.
Oh, man. This I'm telling this is the word that you can say about all this. This is just pure bravery. And I'm not saying that you weren't scared or the bravery that superseded any negative feelings that come with having to make these decisions. It just shows the integrity that you have as a woman and where your values are and where your priorities are, faith is, that at the end of the day, you're gonna be okay as long as you're making the best decisions for the circumstances in which you and your son are in. And this is like, ooh, I am moved already. I'm loving your story. O Okay, so you left?
Yes, yes, I just left the house. There were many things I lost, the material possessions, everything. I left everything. I didn't even turn back and look because the 10-year struggle was too much for me, trying to, fit in. So I just left all the material things. I wanted to leave all the memories. I just took the minimal things, took my son, and I just left the place. And first thing I did is I asked a few friends help, took a advocate and applied for the divorce, because this time I wanted it to be final. Last time I did the mistake of being separated, and in the 10 years of time there were many points where we got separated, then we had to stay together. I didn't want this to happen again, because by that time my son was around 11 years old. So I thought this is done for, and I applied for a divorce in the court of law.
Hmm,
So I wanted to make it final.
and it went through?
Yes, in India, uh, the Indian law supports women a lot. So even though my husband, he wanted to fight for it, he didn't fight for the child. He never, he never wanted the child, but he wanted to fight for the divorce so that he can make it horrible for me. But the Indian judicial system supports women like anything. So with the due process, because there were strong evidences in my case, after a point of time he also decided that it doesn't make any sense, he can't drag the case. So we went for mutual, and within a very short time we both came out of that, and finally I was out of that marriage.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Man, okay, so you fought to get out, the court ruled in your favor, and now it's just you and your this point. So,
Yes.
where did you guys go? What did you guys do?
By that time I had bought a very small house, so we immediately left to that. My parents, where I cannot say that they were opposing me, because they knew the horrible life I led for the past 12 years. But they couldn't support me completely also. They had their own issues. So anyway, I didn't want to bother anybody. I took a small house and I started living with my son. And when I was going through the divorce process, I had a few friends so who I asked for help for recommending a good advocate, or lawyer, what we call in India. So they recommended me, and at that point of time, when I was studying for this job, the job which I took at 17 years of age. So at 15, I had few friends in my life. So that friendships were from 15 years of my age. So I had a few male friends, and in that one male friend, he's a very close friend of mine. We were best friends, but I never discussed my married life to him. Not only with him, I never discussed my married life with many of the people. So when I was when I requested his help for supporting me for my divorce, he helped me out. And later, at different point of time, I came to know that he was also going through a very bad married life, and he was fighting for his divorce. So we never discussed about our married life, so we never got to know about this part of our marriages. So finally, after I completed my divorce, I came to know that he also had similar experiences, and we found that we could find solace in each other. And Now, with parent support and with kid support, we are all living together. My parents, his parents, our kids, we are all living together. And I found bliss finally in my life. I have the most supportive person in my life right now, and I'm really thankful to God. And I'm very happy that my son got a good father, and his children are happy that they found a good mother. So this is all like very difficult in India for someone to accept it, even think about it. So my relatives and his relatives, we have been disowned by the others, but my parents and his parents saw the struggle we have been going through in our married lives for the last 10 to 12 years. So our parents are supporting us, our kids are the witness for the bad married life we had, so our kids are supporting us. Relatives can't see what happens inside a home, so they disowned us because again we are from different caste. Caste is something which is considered, it is similar to race in America, you can say that.
Mm,
But at least race, physically you can see the difference, people come from different country origin. But caste is such a bad thing in India. It divides people who are from the same country,
mm,
same state, just by the name of caste, which is decided by the birth. God knows who decides that. So caste is such a nasty thing which is told in India and which is still followed. And we both are from different castes, so that was the main reason we are disowned by everybody from the society also. Second thing is because uh, a woman having a kid, marrying somebody else is not socially acceptable. If a man marries thrice or four times, it is completely acceptable, but for a woman it is not acceptable. So right now we have crossed through so many things, and I am here at this point of my life.
but you're happy.
I am happy. I found my peace.
See, that's the thing. It's necessary, it's worth it in the end. Man, Kavitha, your story is it's so liberating, especially for women. I think women need to hear, and I think it's also going to be encouraging for men too, to know that there are powerful, strong women out there that they can stand alongside and work with in this world. I'm so touched by you, and I just want to thank you so much for taking that time to unpack it, explain it, especially from a cultural perspective, so we can really understand that and being vulnerable to share that story with my audience and everyone that listens to this episode. How can people contact you to find you on social media or reach out if they have a question or just want to share for this episode?
So I have my website, kavitathecoach.com. So you can just visit my website. We have a contact form, we have a newsletter. You can subscribe to my newsletter, or with the contact form, you can just mail your, give your email ID and whatever is what you want to speak to me. I will contact you immediately, because as a woman, I understand that our time is important. So I make it a priority to check my contact form regularly and be in touch with you as soon as possible. So it is not like other websites, you send a contact form and people contact you after days or months. No. So please, whatever you wish to speak, open my contact form, put the details, give your email ID. I am there for you. I'm going to contact you immediately. So check out my website, kavitathecoach.com. In social media, I am available as at Kavita the Coach in Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere. So you can contact me through social media also. Thank you.
Ah, Kavitha. So guys, that's kavithathecoach.com, at Kavitha the Coach online on social media. Please reach out to her. Women, I'm speaking to you. Young women, I'm speaking to you. Young ladies, I'm speaking to you. You need someone to speak to that has gone on powerful journeys that inspire you. Please reach out to her. She's super kind and hilarious and just very forthcoming. So it's nice to have someone like that to talk to. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If there are any topics that you want covered in the future, any situations that you're going through that you want addressed on this show, please shoot me a DM on social media at Candace. You can also tag me in your socials if you've been listening to the episodes and you want to post quotes, whatever you want. Feel free to tag me and even Kavitha in those posts. We would love to see them. You can also text me at 800-3396, and I check those text messages all the time. I love talking to you guys. And let us know, did you relate to this episode? How did you relate to it? What spoke to you? Please let us hearing those comments from you. If you want to know how to further support, please go to www.firstbasso.com and you can see the variety of ways you can support, whether that is through just listening to the podcast, sharing, liking, and giving. It could even be purchasing products or my sponsors and affiliate programs, becoming a patron of First Pasito. And I want to thank my First Pasitos for all their support as well. And there's so many other ways. So feel free to reach out. Thank you guys for this journey that you've been on with me for the last year and a half. This has been awesome. And I'm loving learning stories just as much as you guys are, because these steps that we're taking together are just helping us to grow and evolve, become more of who we're supposed to be each and every day. So thank you for going on this journey with me and allowing for me to be on the journey with all of you. You guys all take care. Please stay safe. Please, literally still out here. She has not gone away and she has friends. She has cousins. So just please stay safe. And Kavitha, we will definitely be in contact. We will stay in touch. You're a blessing, but to so many people. And I hope you realize that every day. You take care and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Aw, thank you. Take care. Bye.